Hello and welcome to the Online Academy of Irish Music. My name is Kirsten Allstaff and this is the very first lesson in a course called All About Reels. Many learners are reticent about learning reels, believing that they're just too fast or too difficult, but I'm here to dispel such beliefs and I'm going to be breaking down this tune type easily for you. Today I will be teaching the reel The Braes of Busby, and right now I'm going to be playing it for you the way I normally would, at the pace I normally would, along with an accompaniment track. Now these accompaniment tracks for the tunes are also available for you to practice along with on our website. So here it is, The Braes of Busby. Okay, it's great to play along with accompaniment tracks. It's all the tracks are recorded along with a metronome and a tuner, so it's great for our rhythm and it's great for our intonation. And let's face it, it's a lot more musical playing along with a great guitar track rather than a metronome or a tuner. Playing guitar there was Jean Demy. So there are practice tracks available at different speeds for all the tunes in this course. Okay, in this course I'm going to be teaching 13 reels over the course of 26 lessons, and all of the reels I teach are taken from my latest album, which is called 4/4. It's available on iTunes and also off my own website. I named this album 4/4 after the time signature of the reel. And if you listen to my CD, it comprises mostly of reels. I love them. Okay, for the first 16 lessons of this course, I will be using a keyless flute. However, after lesson 16, I will be switching to a keyed flute and we will be looking at tunes in the keys of D minor and G mixolydian, just using the F naturals and some B flats as well. So another thing, I will be teaching the course on 2 different levels. So the first lesson for each tune, I'll just be teaching the ornamentation and phrase by phrase, so you can build your repertoire easily and quickly. However, I'll be supplying an extra lesson for every tune where we'll be going down deep into Irish flute playing, and we'll be looking at intonation and articulation for the tunes on a much deeper level, and I will be introducing you to some great practice aids which I use in my own playing. Okay, without further ado, let's get started with The Braes of Busby, broken down phrase by phrase. Okay, Braes of Busby is in the key of G major, it's a single 3-part reel. So it's 4 bars repeated twice for the first part. So let's get started. Again. Okay, there's a G roll in there. Keep the G rolls rhythmic. So it's just G, then a cut above the note and a tap below. And if you notice, I tap with these 2 fingers. I actually keep this finger down when I'm doing a G roll just for a crisper sound. But if you do your G rolls like cut and tap, that's okay as well. Okay, again, from the G. Moving on. Again, from the low D. Low Ds are very important, and in the second lesson for this tune, I'm going to be showing how to get a really good strong low D. Okay, let's do that whole line together. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's half of the first part learned. Just notice where I'm breathing. It's important for us flute players to take out notes rather than breathe around notes, because in a reel there's just not the time or the space to breathe around notes, and it's all about taking out the right notes. So if you can follow where I'm breathing, it will be very helpful for you. Okay, moving on. Again. And moving on, starting from the C natural. Again. I'm articulating the 2 G's that are together with a little cut in between. Okay, from the start of that second line, so starting on the G, F, G, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Once more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's basically the first part. There's just a little extra bit I have to show you. First of all, let's take it from the start. We'll do these 2 lines together. So starting from the G, E pickup. After 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so on the repeat at the very end, you'll notice I just hopped up the octave and ended on a high GF to lead into the second part. just going to draw your attention to a couple of little bits in that first part that you might want to add in. That G roll, I sometimes put that at the start of the second line, like so. Yeah, instead of, or not as well as in the first line. And also, I sometimes put in a few triplets like this. Okay, let's move on to the second part of the tune. Now, part 2 of the Braes of Busby, like many part 2s of tunes do, hops up to the second octave. So we need to be mindful that our second octave is in tune with our first octave. And in the second lesson for this course, I'm going to be looking at how we improve our intonation across the octaves. So let's take it from the upbeat, the high G and F at the end of part 1. Okay. Again. Once more. Notice the accent I gave that high B. I kind of I articulate with the back of my throat, a tonguing, and I'm also giving it a small cut just to emphasize it. Okay. I'm also doing it on the second G there. Moving on. I do the same on the A. Just give it a little kick with a bit of articulation and a cut. So from the start of that line, after 3, 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay. Just remember also to lift that top finger when you're playing a D. It just gives a better, clearer tone. Sometimes I leave it down if I want something more from the a sound that's more full. It sort of alludes to the lower octave as well as the upper, but for a clear tone, lift the D. So moving on. Again. And the last bit. Let's try these 4 bits together. Play with me from 3, from the start of the second part, or the upbeat into the second part. 1, 2, 3. the second part and a breath. Okay, so B, G, G, breath. Okay, so also something I throw into the second part now is just a little C, B, A, E triplet. So okay, it's just another idea if you want to add something for a bit of flavour on a repeat of a part. Okay. The great thing about this second part of the tune is there's plenty of space to breathe. So you might want to take note of where I'm breathing in the tune or find your own places. Okay, moving on to part 3. Okay, the first phrase. Okay, starting on the B. Sorry, one sec. And the next part. Again, from the A. Okay, this part of the tune is really good for left hand dexterity. This left hand and moving between the A's and the C naturals and the B's can give a lot of us a bit of trouble. And the only way out of that trouble is to keep doing it and keep getting more ease and dexterity in that left hand. Okay, from the start of the first line of part 3, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Okay, moving on. Starting from the B. This tune's in the key of G major, and the notes of the G chord, G, B, and D, are very prominent. Okay, moving on. I'm going to take it from the start of that second line again, and I'm going to go on. So from the B. Okay, I'm separating the 2 G's at the end with a little tap. So let's take it from the start of part 3. Okay, after 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Moving on. It's the same as the first line. Okay, moving on. Again. Moving on. Start with a BCD triplet here. Okay, let's put the whole of the third part together and play it nice and slow the whole way through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. And if you want to just vary it up a bit, I've shown just where you could put some variation. So BCD triplets, lots of room for them here. Okay, one thing about triplets is don't overuse them as I just did there. I was just showing where they could go, but keep triplets as an occasional thing rather than, and they can get very tiresome easily if you use them too much. Well done. Okay, we're now going to practice this whole tune together using one of the accompaniment tracks from the website at 50% speed. 2, 3.